All right. Hello, everybody. I don't know if we're on yet or not. We are. Okay. I'm brand new to streaming, so hopefully you can be give me a little bit of grace, be gentle on me. Just kind of trying to figure all of this stuff out. So what just happened is we had a big price spike. I ended up taking a real trade, a live trade that ended up going into profit down in here. So um, I'm going to, that means I blew the funded account completely, captured recovery, the entire recovery lane. So that's doubling the contracts. You know what? Let's not get into all that minutia. Let's just run a trade here. Let's just see what happens.
Pairing card armed.
I'll fix that. Let's fix that. Okay. So price is likely going to well, it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to continue down or go up. Now with these evals, we want to fail them. So I want this stop loss to be placed in the least likely place. And to me, I'm going to wait for a candle close here, but if we show a green candle at all, I'm still bullish here. So we're going to enter a short. So we're going to do the opposite of what we think where price is going to go. And the reason is because this hedge that we have attached to our prop account is going to take the other way. So if we want to win on this long here, we need to short the prop account and with the live account, I'm going to go ahead and enter here. I have a good feeling like it might be difficult to enter. So let's go ahead and sell one here.
Hedge long filled on MNQ. Prop short filled on NQ.
Let's see. Those were both market orders fired on both of those. So I just want to see how the fill went. So it's 4 ticks. So that's $2 on $100. It's 2%, $100 profit target. You know, I'm not thrilled with it, but it's not going to affect things too much. It's better to be filled than have a naked hedge and end up having to sweat it while you could have been in a winning trade and it just didn't fill you and isn't coming back. Let's can I pop this out again? Let's pop this out so I can monitor. We'll put this on one of the pair card spots. Okay. Let's get some music up here. Up in this. History. Where's the music? That's some music going. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Ooh, that's a good song. Yeah, that sounds good. If it's too loud, if it's too quiet, if there's anyone who cares, it would just make my day if I got a like or just hey, what's up? That would be great. Okay, so our trade. Let's get the right account up here. So TradeBlade, this is a pair card. This is what we're trading. We're trading a pair. We're not just making one trade. We're trading two instruments at once. First instrument we went short on. This is the prop account. The live hedge account is a real hedge account. I have this button toggled so it aliases anywhere that this name, the true account number was shown. So, but that is a real live account. We're in a live position there. So this pair card has live bars on it. This is the same way that that NinjaTrader renders its charts, but it's native on your card. The card itself is designed in such a way that when, I have the mobile scaffolding done so far, not all the way, but most of it's done. Tying it all together would give you the ability to view this entire thing on a phone screen. So we were in a trade earlier where we won 200 and blew the funded account, captured everything. So we're giving some of that back right now because we're down in our short. But let's open up an NQ chart. So when you open an NQ chart, this will open it to the correct account that you have a trade in, that pair card launched. And this little HUD will show up, giving you just some basic live tick updates. Important to know your unrealized profit and loss, and this is on the prop account. So what we're hoping for is for this not to be reached down here. We definitely want this to sort of explore a little bit in here and come back up and tag us out right here. We're fortunate because we set this to $4,000 because we lost our first trade yesterday on this account. So we lost $1,000 yesterday, which meant we only have 1,000 left, but we always set the profit target to whatever would get us a funded account. So that's a little over 4,000. So we got, a 4-to-1 or 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So positive risk to reward ratio on the profit account. But more importantly, we get a resolution today. We either get $100 or we get a funded account. Now we do have some hedge drag, which is, which is what I call it when, we're laying out hedge to get the funded account, and we try to capture that back when we're in the funded challenge. Ironically, winning is not the most profitable path. It still wins. Winning still wins. But the most profitable path is actually the failing the evals. And even though, and I'll show you here, even though scenario 2, which is passing the eval, failing the funded account, even though that this does lose about $85 on average, it's better than going to scenario 3, which actually, gets us $740 and a very high weighted EV, contribution. But the problem with it is this takes 4 to 5 weeks to unfold. You'll notice right here, we have divided the funded hedge into 2 sections. Halfway to the payout, our payout goal, which is 3,600, is 3,600 because That's what we need to get the most, which is the 1,500 for the first payout. We're trying to get the most. We need 3,600. We cut that in half. We have 1,800 here for phase one. Phase two is anything after that. It never goes backwards from 4 to 2 contracts. It only goes forward from 2 to 4, regardless of what happens. Once we get to 4 contract hedge, we stay there. And this starts again after we are more than halfway or halfway to the goal. But it's better to actually fail here, give the $85 up in 2 days, and get back to where the real money generation is. Like this makes 157 for every occurrence, but it's weighted EV in terms of how often it happens. 94 bucks is the most, and this takes 2 days. This takes 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. You can get back to scenario one quickly. You can keep churning these out. And let me point out something, because this is a real oddity. So the industry average is 10% of your first eval attempts actually pass. 1 in 10. But TradeBlade passes it at a 40% win rate. So, and that's regardless really of your strategy. It helps if you have, if you can more often than not call which direction, but you don't need to. Over a large enough sample size, it's all going to be about 40%. And that's because of something we call barrier math, or the gambler's ruin equation. It doesn't seem to matter, well, it's not that it doesn't seem to, it doesn't matter what the profit target is. If it's 3,000 and the end of the drawdown is 2,000, that's a sort of a 2 to 3 ratio. That translates into a probability that, 60% of the time this will occur, 40% of the time this will occur. And, I asked, well, does that include sorry, I'm a bit distracted right now. Sorry. So you might ask, well, does that, what if it just took, 1 trade versus 20 trades to get there? Wouldn't the math change? It actually doesn't change regardless of the path. So it's 40% always, and that's why we had this 40% here. Probability of reaching payout is 20 to 30%, 20 to 25%. I set it at about 25%. So we're expecting about 1 in 4 if we simply have a random walk. 1 in 5, 1 in 4 will get to the payout. Again, the payout is not where the money is. In fact, it's a money sink. It requires the most outlay of real cash, and the cash is tied up for 2 to 3 weeks. It's not a good scenario for us. It's essentially, hey, let's get on with it. Let's resolve the second payout, the third payout. Let's get back to the scenario one. That's why with $2,000, this is the recommended amount. It's 2,000 bucks. Okay, this covers your margin, $50 per contract. You will be having 4 contracts engaged during some portion of the cycles sometimes. So that's a total of $1,403 you need for your max hedge drawdown amount. No, sorry. That's how much, the 1,403 is how much you're going to actually draw down during that whole period. Sorry. This is the total, $1,603. So 2,000 bucks is recommended, minimum 16. So, if you really want to, if you were disciplined, you you just operate the thing well. You know, I would say 1750. You'd probably be okay. So you need a minimum of 1750. That's to run my setup. You can do this with less. You can do it with about $700 or $800, but you'll have wildly more volatility. This reduces volatility by 48%. So this is another really cool thing about TradeBlade is our losses are capped, and on top of it, we reduce the variance by a significant amount. So
Stop loss on NQ. Profit target on MNQ.
okay, that means
resolved.
that means my hedge trade just won. So my live cash account just made money, just like we had hoped. I mean, sometimes it makes you feel like you can just call these things. You can't, but when stuff like this happens, it's very tempting to say, yeah, look at, I just called that. You know, it's very seductive. Let's check the hedge account here. So that's good. So it's up to $2,400. Started with 2K, so it's up to 2,400. That's good. I'm just now starting to kind of get used to how to truly implement perfect strategy. It takes a little bit of trial and error to find the right path. But now that I have it all worked out, I know what I'm doing. It's just simply a part of just knowing what knowing what phase I'm in to know what I'm supposed to do next. But that's real money. That's so I increased that live account in the last 2 days, $755. Sometimes this carries over from the previous session, I've noticed. So anyway, that's it for this stream. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like, a share, a subscribe. Be much appreciated. If you want to know more about TradeBlade, go to TradeBladeHQ.com. That's and sorry for being a total noob on this streaming thing, but we'll try to get better as we go.